How did you feel when you heard that the hospital had threatened a lawsuit against your mom based on what you wrote?
Well, I felt very nervous, first of all, because it was like something that I wrote, and then I felt sort of like betrayed because why are they taking it out on my mom instead of me? I'm Samson Cournane and I'm 14 years old, but I'm turning 15 in a few days. I go to the University of Maine and I'm a junior. Well, being 14 in college, it's quite an experience. It's definitely a step up from high school, but I get to do what I love with my fellow classmates, and I get to work on computer science all the time, which is what I really like.
Samson is a very bright young man. He's, while extraordinary, also your average American teen.
I like to read, I like to hang out with my family and friends, and I like to play tennis.
In addition to being in college, Samson is also an advocate for pediatric patient safety.
Mom's been raising some concerns at work, and I kind of did a little bit of research, and I talked to my mom about it, and she said she's been raising some concerns with patient safety, and I saw that there was some other things going on. And the ER chief also has been raising similar concerns in the media too.
After raising her concerns and repeating them and raising many concerns, in fact, with her hospital administration, Dr. Yared was fired abruptly and without cause. And so after his mother was fired and some of the concerns she had were not addressed as far as he's aware, he decided that given that his own health would be put at risk if he was to go to that hospital, if the proper safety protocols weren't in place, he decided to create a petition.
So the reason I chose to speak out was because everyone deserves to have safe and good quality health care. And when I found out about this, I felt like I was morally accountable to do something about it and raise awareness with the administration and in the community.
He first went to his local college to do a petition on campus. That was going to be too expensive. He tried to talk to the hospital administrators to try and get them to understand his concerns. They refused to have a conversation or answer his questions. And then finally, he turned around and said, well, if I can't, speak to the hospital and can't do it at my college, I'll just do a change.org petition. And that's what he did.
I wrote the petition because I felt like I should be doing something about this.
When he decided to do this and meet with university administration and all this on his own, I was very impressed. I realized that he must care about it a lot, that he was willing to kind of go outside of his comfort zone and sit at a table by himself and discuss these issues with people, strangers that he didn't know. So I was really impressed.
At the same time, his mom was engaged in discussions to try to resolve what she felt was a wrongful termination by Eastern Maine Medical Center and Northern Light. The hospital turned around and threatened her with a defamation suit based on Samson's advocacy. I
definitely felt disheartened because I felt like they were undermining my credibility, and they thought that I didn't do it, even though I know what I'm doing. I wrote all of these things, and I fully believe what I'm saying, and I feel like this just makes me want to do more and continue with my stance.
The hospital's threat of a lawsuit is really an attempt to threaten to sue someone into silence. And that's what these types of lawsuits do. A private entity tries to sue usually for defamation without any real factual basis with the intent to silence their detractors. That's what we call a slap suit.
The threat of a lawsuit has had a tremendous effect on my family, from the financial implications of it to the psychological, emotional uncertainties of what's going to happen. And it's really created a lot of stress about the future for our family.
I hope that the hospital will reconsider its decision about what it's doing, and that the way that we can solve this is if we work together, and instead of threatening me and my mom, that we can actually work and then continue to make our healthcare system better.
We're representing our client Samson, but although his name may be Samson, this is a true David and Goliath story, and we are working with the David here to push back. And to do that, we're going to send a demand letter to the hospital conglomerate demanding that they disavow any intent to sue Samson over his public advocacy. We want them to speak out publicly and make it known that they are not going to try to come after him for his speech. If they do, fire will be there.